Welcome to Health and Wellness Today, podcast 39, where we unmask the hidden forces shaping your well-being, exploring how your cultural background and unique personality traits dictate not just how you feel, but how you define health itself. Today we have Dr. Sharon Moore, clinical psychologist and author of In the Beginning, which made the top 25 list of spiritual mindset help literature all the way from the great Sunshine State, Florida. She is here with us to give a brief explanation of strategies for staying mentally healthy and definitions of what it means to be mentally healthy. Well, hello everyone, and thank you for having me. Some ways that people measure validity is through surveys. Surveys reportedly foster a dynamic, innovative, and customer-centric work culture, typical with market research. These surveys consist of various demographic information like gender, identity, age, household income, educational level, and race, just to name a few. The demographics of the United States of America is continuing to change at a very rapid rate. Freud originally used the term neurosis to describe a condition marked by mental distress, emotional suffering, and an inability to cope effectively with the normal demands of life. Neuroticism refers to the tendency to experience negative feelings. Openness to experience describes a dimension of cognitive style that distinguishes imaginative, creative people from down-to-earth, conventional people. Cultural differences profoundly shape wellness. Cultural backgrounds dictate the why and the how of health practices. Psychology has legitimized itself as a science since the early 1900s. In the beginning were Sigmund Freud, Erik Erikson, and Pavlov. While Freud and Pavlov laid the foundations, 21st century psychologists work within a landscape dominated by empirical research, brain imaging, and standardized evidence-based practices. The field itself is changing with some of its regulations and guidelines and relaxing requirements needed for psychologists and upcoming psychologists to practice. Mental disorders are conditions that affect your thoughts, emotions, and behavior. There are more than 200 conditions in psychology. Example, abuse, neglect, child, elder, or dependent adult. Addictions, substance abuse, alcohol use disorder, aging, anxiety, phobia, attention deficit, hyperactivity, children, adult, bipolar disorders, depression, mood, bereavement, eating disorders, obesity, neurocognitive disorders, dyslexia, obsessive compulsive spectrum disorders, hoarding disorder, avoidant personality disorder, schizophrenia, sexual desire disorder, narcolepsy, anxiety disorder, and the list goes on. Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of mental disorders, DSM, mental disorders will be conceptualized from different clinical and socio-cultural perspectives, including the role of genetic, chemical, and environmental influences, and being able to bridge the gap between diagnostic interpretations and social, ethical, and individual considerations in assessment when working with different groups of people. With that being said, let's get into definitions of mentally healthy. Before I give you a few strategies, according to the WHO, World Health Organization, the state of emotional, psychological, and social well-being that influences how you think, feel, and behave. Take care of your mental health isn't just good for the mood, it's essential for your whole body. Rhetorical question. Take a few seconds and ask yourself, what is mentally healthy? Well, I'm sure a few things came to mind, like mental well-being is shaped by the world around us. We create the atmosphere that we either grow in or decline in. Peaceful and structural environment that helps with stability. If we're in a chaotic environment, it can cause stress. The WHO urges governments and global partners to increase investments in mental health to reduce the global burden of disease and improve the quality of life, emphasizing that there is no health without mental health. Strategies. Retraining the nervous system to handle issues from within instead of being in a fight or flight mode. The lack of attention to the mental health may lead to mental disorders with lifelong consequences. Mental health can be maintained through a combination of lifestyle choices, personal attributes, management of self, environment, social support, and relationships. Identify the motivation. Ask, what are my goals for a healthier me? Exercise clean eating, spirituality, understanding health in mind, body, and soul, spirit. Wellness trends in Western cultures focus on self-care and individual achievement with biohacking or gym routines. In contrast, cultures that prioritize collectivism may find movements more appealing if they emphasize community well-being, family-oriented activities, or shared meals. Reinforcement of cultural norms suggesting that health has a specific look. Strict norms can suppress personal beliefs. Check if the source has medical or professional expertise. Furthermore, look for representation. If a wellness movement only features a narrow demographic in terms of race, age, or body type, it is usually or likely reinforcing a specific cultural norm rather than offering a versatile health resource. In conclusion, one final perspective. Drawing from mythology and Jungian psychology, he highlights the archetype of the healer, from Asclepius to Jesus, and suggests that dreams reveal the psyche's drive toward wholeness. While psychology has its explanations on the medical side of the spectrum, in ancient days when people suffered from not being mentally healthy, it was said that the person was possessed of demons, or even that the person had a lunatic spirit. In many cultures today, the same reason is still prevalent, and that the person needs to be delivered from whatever demonic forces that may be in control of the person's spirit. In the end, a person has to look to someone greater than themselves to help with the conditions of their health. Even science can only explain so much before it is redirected to a greater answer. Thank you for the time, and until next time we meet. By applying a psychological lens to wellness culture, we see the true health thrives not in rigid conformity, but in aligning with our own needs and values. Goodbye.